Okay, guys, this is a follow-up to the video I just posted before. I might have spoken in haste about the Nordics, mainly because I just feel bad for saying as I did. I'm speaking out of hurt. I'm speaking out of like, damn, you didn't do anything, fuck. But I understand what it is. I've been reading through Proverbs, and basically. And through Revelations and Ezekiel, and basically these I listen to the books on tape because I'm a really shitty reader, so I just listen to them on tape, and I'm an audio learner, so I learn it faster that way, and it like because when I try to read something and try to make sense of what I'm reading, it's just like but when I hear it, it works way better. And but basically what I've been learning is this is the Great Tribulation. This is what was spoken about in biblical times. What is going on right now, the Great Tribulation. Of that I have no doubt. Because what the current events, the things that are happening, there will be a generation among you with teeth as swords and bottom teeth as knives, and they will feed off the poor and the needy. Proverbs 30:14. They're talking about now, right now. This is the times of the end, and it also speaks about flooding our lands with foreigners. Nowhere in history has this ever happened on this scale. Ever, massive amounts, like hordes and hordes and hordes of foreigners coming up here. That's part of the end time prophecy. That's what's happening right now. This is the Great Tribulation. And what I realized is that they're watching to see what you do. Will you join them? Or will you fight for what's right? What do you do when no one is watching? Are you a force for good, or are you a force for bad? That's oftentimes I speak out of anger. I get pissed off because it's like I feel like I'm alone in this, and I speak out of turn, and I understand, and it's out of ignorance. And the more knowledge I get, the more I realize, damn, those words were harsh. Like, fuck. Because I could almost read her aura when she showed me her form. I could read her aura. It was almost like magical. It was almost like she was a very like spiritual. You know when you see like a cat and it's almost like moved like a spiritual creature? That's how she was. And I don't know. I can't imagine that she would be out to fuck us over. Like, not like the people with the black eyes and the sharp teeth and the rotting flesh. They literally look like they're rotting. And I realize what this is. It's an alien that takes a human. I was talking to basically when this whole gang stalking shit started happening to me, and I was coming up from Arizona, and I was in Colorado, and there's this dude who was standing at the bus station who was like waving around a spike. He had like a fucking long ass spike in his hand, and he was like everybody was like angry as fuck at us for like who fucking knows why. This is when this was all starting to happen. I was like, what the fuck? Like, and he keeps pacing back and forth, like, and he picks up this spike and he like starts walking over to me, and he walks past me several times, like waving his spike, angry as shit, like rambling about some random shit. And I was like, and so I walk up to him, and this is before I knew they were able to read my mind. And I walk up to him, and I'm like, why are you angry with me? Like, curiosity was overwhelmed any sense of fear or any sense. I don't really have fear. I mean, I have fight or flight instincts. Of course, every man has that. When your adrenal glands start pumping and you get geared up for war. but that's different from what this was. I was truly uh, oh yeah, and also like the thing that made me leave Arizona in the first place was they almost killed me in the hospital, and so I faced death face to face at that moment, and this was like fresh out of that moment, and so it's like I didn't give a flying hoot. Like you could point a gun in my face and I'll laugh at you. Like I don't give a shit. Like go ahead, shoot me. Then it's like then I'm going to heaven. I know where you're going though. Like, like but basically, I I walk up to him and I'm like, why are you angry with me? And he's like he's bewildered. He's like, cause he's a fairly big guy, and he's like, why is this guy not afraid of me? Like, and I could sense that feeling on him, like, oh shit, like he's not afraid of me, and that off put him. That kind of got him a little bit afraid of me. Like, what is it about him that makes him not afraid of me? And so, damn, there must be something crazy about this motherfucker. and no, it was really just like I had the spirit of Jesus in me, and I was really just like damn, like fellow human, what are you doing angry with me? What are you like? Why? I want to understand you. I want to help you. I want to figure out why you're mad, and and uh and basically we got to talking, and he starts talking about reptilians, but in double speak. I know what he's talking about. Uh, Basically he's if you're a targeted individual, you know how these people work. You know how they talk. They speak of one thing, but they mean another. They speak with dual purpose. They say one thing, and they're but they're talking to you. Although if you were to call them out on it, they could be like, no, I was talking about this other thing, when they're clearly not, because if you try to understand it as if they were talking normally, it wouldn't make any kind of sense. And it's clear that they're referencing to you. And basically and so through this doublespeak, he was telling me about reptilians, and basically how he was one, and he was like, "Oh, so when we take in people's bodies, like into human form, the longer you stay in that body, the more their flesh starts to rot." And their flesh starts to break out with like this rash type shit. Like it's like this red looking, almost rotting, and then their normal skin is pale. It looks like they're literally rotting, and that's it. If they've stayed in the body for a long period of time, and that just didn't register in my brain until I didn't really make anything of it until recently, where I pieced it all together, and I was like. When I saw their actual faces, when I was I don't care that they're alien, okay? I don't care that they look different. I don't care if they look like a giant praying mantis alien bug. I don't give a fuck. If you're a force for good, you're my homie. Let's smoke a blunt. If you're a force for bad, get the fuck out of my sight. Like that's how it is for me. I don't give a fuck how you look. I don't give a fuck where you come from. I don't care if you're on the other side of Andromeda Galaxy. I don't give a fuck if you're on the other side of the Pleiades. I don't give a shit. Like if you're a good person or a good whatever you are, then we're homies. If you're bad, then fuck out of here. Damn. And basically these I communicated that and so they showed me their faces, and I was like, I'm really curious about where you guys come from, what you guys actually look like. I'd rather meet you than who you're pretending to be, and and that's like to the core what I believe. I don't want to meet an imposter. I want to meet you. I don't want to meet who you're pretending to be. I want to meet you. And in doing so, they revealed themselves to me, and the way they look, their whole form, not just their eyes and not just their teeth, their skin. They literally looks like it's rotting, and that is I don't know what to make of that. I have some theories, but also one of the Nordics revealed themselves to me, and that's what sparked me making that video before, is because I was really pissed. I was like, "What the fuck? You've been here the whole time? You know how long I've prayed to meet you?" And then the moment I meet you, I find out you guys are with these guys and not like damn. Well, not with those guys, but like, I don't know. Maybe it's a purely observational thing. They can't do anything about it because they have some policy where they can't, or some shit like that. I don't know. Or it's part of the plan. They'll allow the evil people to take over the world. That's what it says in the Bible as well. The God will allow Satan to take over the world for a period of time, basically to test men on the earth, and that's what's happening. This is literally end times prophecy. So get right with God right now, and don't just say you're right with God. He sees right through that. You gotta feel it. Open your chakras. Feel it. Like I've had some crazy experiences as of late. Like, and you feeling your shining light. You know, that innermost side of you. You know, your best times. Like when you're feeling it and you're feeling like your inner glow and you feel fucking awesome. And you're like, yeah, like I feel so happy, like genuinely happy. That feeling. Learn to master it and summon it at will. And then there's several other chakra points. That's your heart chakra you're feeling when you feel that joy. And then there's several other ones like, yeah. I'm not gonna go through examples, but there's like one right here, one right here, one right here, one right underneath your Adam's apple area, one right in your solar plexus, 2 inches below your belly button, and one down in your nether regions, and and yeah, those just basically the way these beings measure success is through how strong your spirit is, how strong that glow is, and work on it, get it strong, because that's the only way you're going to exist in this pan-dimensional reality. Basically, after you die, your spirit that pilots your body, if you've had an out-of-body experience, you know that your spirit is, you have a soul. And that's your spirit, your soul, whatever the fuck you want to call it. It's your electromagnetic energy that drives your body. Why do you think when you die you have no electromagnetic energy going through you? That's because that's your soul. And it's in everything. The natives were very right about trees having spirits. They have spirits. They don't have the sensories that we do. They don't have like touch, smell, sight, any of that. But they're alive. They have an electromagnetic reading through them. It's alive, and that's the same. The living spirit is everywhere, and that's God is a being made up of this of this stuff, and this is as are angels, and as will you be when you die if you work on your spirit. And or at least that's my hypothesis about the whole thing. Just basically start reading through scripture. If you seek God, you will find him. If you truly seek him, you will find him. Trust me, it happened to me. I used to not believe in God. Then all this crazy shit started happening. I was like, damn, this is eerily similar to what I heard about in the Bible. Like, I mean, I've been to church before. I was like what you would call an average Christian, like somebody who's Christian in name only, really, and doesn't really practice at all, doesn't really know anything about it, doesn't really, doesn't have a true connection with God, doesn't know Jesus. And this is what, if you seek God, you will find him. If you truly have it in your heart to find him, he will find you. And you will feel it. You will feel the armor of God. Like when these people start fucking with you, it's weird. It's almost like as if the spirit of Jesus comes into you. Like it happened to me on my walk back from home just last night. I was walking, and there's this guy. I was listening to Proverbs in my earbuds, and there's this guy with the demon eyes and shit like that, getting hella hopping mad at me. He's like, because I know he was reading my mind, and I know he was reading that I was listening to this to Proverbs, and he was getting hella mad. He was like, well, actually, I think it was Enoch at the time. Yeah, it was first Proverbs and then Enoch. But he was getting hella mad. He was like fixing to fight me. He was like angry eyes and fucking like, and I was like the only one walking down the street, and he was like getting mad at me, and all I could feel was love. It was weird. It was like I didn't feel fear, I didn't feel anger, I didn't feel all I felt was love. Like it just vibrated through my whole body, and it almost felt as if the spirit of Jesus was literally inside of me. It's weird. That's like it, and all I could do was smile, a kind smile. It just happened. Like I couldn't make any other face. That's what happened. It's like I started smiling very kindly at him, and I was like, as I was walking by, and I was like, basically, the people he is sending to you are stubborn and obstinate. They will not listen to you because they do not listen to him. Do not rebuke his teachings, because God rebukes and punishes those he loves. Rebukes and disciplines, not punishes, my bad. Rebukes and disciplines the ones he loves. Sorry, I fucked up. I'm really like, it doesn't say punish. It says rebukes and disciplines. This is what, and so don't rebuke the people he's rebuke basically means to shun, to say fuck off, to go against. Like, don't rebuke these people. You have been chosen. Literally, this is the highest honor. God has specifically chosen you. The unfortunate part is that this will happen until you die, to prove your loyalty. All this stuff will happen right up until you die. But if you stay loyal, the reward is everlasting. Also, it's not all that bad, because basically once you find God, he makes it easy to go through this. Basically, in fact, the more people fuck with you, the happier you get. So it's really them shooting themselves in the foot. It's like you literally can't help but to feel happy. It like vibrates through your whole fucking body. And it's almost like the best high you've ever felt. And it's like, all right, please fuck with me some more. I want to feel this. Like, hate on me for being Christian, dude. I love this. Like, I'll be like filled with fucking joy. Basically, he wants you to go through the same steps that Jesus did. It's basically the initiation ceremony into being an angel. It's the initiation ceremony. You got to go through the steps Jesus did. In the last moments of Jesus's life as a human, or as a before he was resurrected, he was on the cross, and he said, "God, why have you forsaken me?" Even Jesus felt like he had been abandoned by God. See, I didn't know this until recently. This is the test. This is the great tribulation. It's going to be hard. It's going to last the rest of your life. Are you prepared? Will you falter? Will you turn to darkness just to escape? Because calamity will follow you. The more you turn to God, the better you will feel. Trust me. There's been no better feeling than the feeling of the presence of God. And with that said, guys, you guys have a good day. Just take to heed what I'm saying. Do not do as they do. Do not surrender your soul. Be loyal, endure. This is your everlasting soul we're talking about. This, I know that sounds cringy because it's been brainwashed into your head by all the Illuminati media that it's bad. Basically, all the media that you've been raised with as a kid is all part of the same stupid-ass conditioning to turn you away from God. Notice every time they mention God in any of the movies, it's always bad. There's a reason for that. You know who runs the music, the movie industries, the medias, all this Illuminati? They're Satan worshipers up at the top. The people at the bottom don't really believe, but the people at the top do. Wouldn't you think that they knew something that they didn't? If they're so gung-ho believers, all the people at the top are super hardcore believers. They know something we don't. Do not do as they do. Find God. Look for Him. You will